All right, guys, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to talk about if you're considering upgrading or somewhat like leveling your Tundra, and if you're considering the Bilstein 5100 or the 6112. And I'm going to kind of give you my inputs on both, what clip or setting you should run, depending on which one you decide to go with, and kind of what I've experienced. So I originally started off with the Bilstein 5100s, and if you don't know, they have 3 settings. I think the first setting is 0.87 inches of lift, the second one is 0.167, and the third setting is I think it's 2.2 inches of lift. And then on the 6112, there's 4 settings. I think it's 0.87, 1.3, 1.9, and then I'm 2.5. So when I was researching, I settled on the second clip for the 5100s. And if you don't know, these trucks, the front nose is kind of big compared to the rear. You still have rake, but when I was on the 5100, it was basically just about level on the middle clip. If I went with the third clip, which I had seen on the forums, because I did quite a bit of back research, the front end kind of looked a bit nose high. Now this is assuming you don't have a winch or anything up front, but if you just have a regular old Tundra like me with nothing up front, the second clip is going to be kind of like your money spot for a nice level look. Also too, if you run the first or second clip, you're probably going to get a much more, like, even though the 5100 it's a 2-inch shock body, you're going to get not as stiff of a ride running the third clip. That's quite a bit of preload. And if you don't know, you have to reuse, you don't have to, but it's recommended to reuse your stock springs. I know Old Man Emu and everything, they make springs for the 5100. If you do that, check the spring rate, because if you run that on a second or third clip, I mean, it's going to be like pretty much like you're riding on bricks. So it's probably recommended to go to the first setting. So when I had the 5100s, I thought they were great. I mean, for the price, honestly, you can't probably beat the performance. I personally never like faded them or anything off-roading. They were, coming from now what I have, looking back at it, yeah, they were firm, but still I thought very controlled and extremely stable, especially if you're on the freeway, if you do any bit of towing and stuff like that and you want kind of that improved handling, the 5100 is a great option. Now when I went to the 6112, I was back and forth on the fence between the third or fourth clip. So obviously the third clip is 1.9 inches of lift and the fourth clip is 2.5 inches of lift. I think what is it called, Customs, or I forget the name of the company, but they sell like a collar too you can put on a 6112 to get even more inches of lift. But I decided to settle on the third clip, and the reason for that is I think the sweet spot on these is right around 2 inches. If you guys don't know, the TRD Pro with the Fox shocks is basically factory 2 inches up front, which is just about level. I obviously have Coachbuilder +1 Shackles, but it's gives it just that perfect level look, even though I have about 1 inch of rake. As I talked about, kind of the hood, the nose of the Tundra appears high compared to the rear. So the third clip, you know, because I don't have a winch or nothing, is really the sweet spot for the 6112. You can even run the second clip too. That'd probably be even more plush. The 6112 being I think it's a 2.6 inch shock body, 60 millimeter, is like, I don't want to say it's night and day, but it's significantly much more smoother and plush in terms of handling kind of like the more rougher parts of the road than the 5100. Both provide great high-speed stability on the freeway, great handling. It's just obviously the 6112 up front is just a much beefier shock, and it just works better. Obviously it's $600-700 more, but you can find them. I think I bought mine off Amazon. I think I paid $750, and then I, got new KYB top hats too for those. I think they're $30 and stuff. So all in all, I put the spring on myself. But you can buy them assembled. I think they're around $1,100. So you kind of got to pick and choose. But if it's my recommendation, if that's what you guys want to go with, if you're going to go with the 5100s, I would personally just leave them on the second clip if you want that level look. And if you go with the Bilstein 6112s, the third clip is probably going to be your money spot. If you have a winch up front, either on the 5100 or the 6112s, consider going to the highest clip setting, and you'll be fine. But yeah, Great shocks, Bilstein. I've always had good results with them and stuff. I think guys get probably 80 to 100,000 miles out of the shocks on them, so that's really good compared to like maybe like Fox, Icon, all the other ones that probably need a rebuild between 40 to 60,000 miles. For the price, this entire setup, I have 5100s in the rear. I did not do 5160s. I watched a few videos, Shock Surplus and another YouTube channel specifically talked about how the 5160s is kind of with that really tiny line and how much more extra oil is in the reservoir. I mean, it's really not worth it, in my opinion, for the price. So I just have a typical 6112 5100 combo, and it's been phenomenal. This setup is right around $1,100, and I don't think you can beat it for the price. I think a lot of guys too go with Eibach, not to steer off or anything. I think Eibach's good too, but keep in mind, you know, you're also buying a 2-inch shock body up front versus a 2.6. But Eibach is not aggressive valving like the 6112s or the 5100s. So if I ever upgrade this setup, I know a couple of guys have commented and I appreciate the comments. The 8112s will be like the next set for me. I think the 8112s from the factory, they come right at around 2.9 inches of lift set. So that'll be pretty high, but you can adjust them down and everything. But anyways, back to the 5100 6112s. Those are my recommendations. If it were me, I would save up the money and just go with the 6112s from the get. And if you don't, and you just kind of want to get something on your truck right away and still be just fine, the 5100 is a great valid option. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Anything you see on the truck that you like, I have all the links for everything I've used in the description. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share my video. I'm just trying to put out more content and stuff. Take care, guys.